Do not send the right person out of your life because of a wrong thing that they did. And what do I mean? Many times, the wounds that hurt us the most come from the people that are closest to us. And this is because we have expectations of them. You should know better. You should do better. You're the one that knows me, in a certain capacity. And I would not expect some shortfallings from you. But remember that we're all human beings. We are all imperfect. We are all growing, whether it's a marriage relationship, friendship, a colleague at work or something, and we should give one another the grace to make mistakes, the grace to grow into knowing each other. And when we then make those mistakes, we on our part should have the grace, the patience, and the wisdom to know how to handle it right. Let me show you a case in point in the Bible. When we look at Matthew chapter 16, verses 22 to 23, this is when Jesus was telling them of how he was going to be crucified and everything. And Peter, number one disciple, man of God, Peter, in the place of concern, goes to meet Jesus. And the Bible says he took him aside to speak to him privately and began to charge him and reprove him and say, God forbid, Lord, this must never happen to you. But Jesus turned away from Peter, verse 23, and said to him, get behind me, Satan. You are in my way, an offense and a hindrance and a snare to me. These are powerful words. He says, for you are minding what partakes not of the nature and quality of God, but of men. This same Peter is the one that Jesus spoke to like this. And you would assume, especially when he says, get thee behind me, Satan, what Jesus was inferring in that sentence almost that Satan possessed Peter. Now imagine this. You're thinking, this disciple that is closest to me, this one that I've said, on the rock I will build my church and the gates of hell will not prevail. This man of God, Peter, how could you even have fallen to the point where you are allowing Satan to speak through you? At that point, as a human being, you just decide this must be a sign. Peter cannot even be part of the 12 again. Like, I am cutting Peter off now. You have to think about how profound what happened here is. But if you look at Matthew chapter 17, verses 1, the Bible says, after 6 days, he took 3 of them, Peter, James, and John, and he took them up the mountain, and that was where the whole transfiguration happened, and Elijah was there, and Moses was there. This same Peter that had done this in the previous verse, and 6 days later, Jesus was wise enough to chastise him on that situation, but not make a permanent decision based on just a temporary happening. When things happen in our lives, in our relationships, I pray for the grace for us to discern that particular situation and have the wisdom to handle it right, so that we don't lose the right people in our lives because we judge their momentary mistake wrongly. God help us all. Amen.